When learning HTML, you read and hear these words often: elements, tags, attributes. Let's make it clear from the start what these words mean to help avoid confusion later. All content inside an HTML document is contained within an element. For example, this is called a paragraph element, and it's typically used to contain text. Most elements are comprised of a start tag that signifies the start of the element, and an end tag that signifies the end of the element, and content between the tags. Both tags contain the name of the element enclosed in angle brackets. The end tag has a / in front of the element name, as you can see here. These are also called the opening and closing tags. These tags plus the content inside the tags, all taken together, compose the entire element. A start tag can hold extra information using what are called attributes. Both the names of elements and attribute names are not defined by the user. There's a predefined set of elements and attributes that are set in the HTML standard. Most attributes have a name and a value, separated by an equal sign. The value should be in quotes, but not the attribute name. You can use single or double quotes. Just make sure that you start and end with the same type of quote. What is allowed as a value depends on the attribute being used. In the example shown here, the attribute is called ID. An acceptable value for an ID attribute is typically a single, user-defined word with no spaces. The word's first character must be a letter. Otherwise, numbers, underscores, and hyphens are allowed. There are some attributes that only use the name and not the value. For example, there's an attribute called hidden. If you add the hidden attribute to an element, then it will be hidden from view. You don't have to explicitly say hidden equals true or hidden equals yes. You just say hidden. A value of true is implied by its presence in the start tag. This type of attribute is called a Boolean attribute. The word Boolean comes from a branch of logic in which all values are either true or false. And we'll talk about Boolean data types more when we start learning JavaScript. For now, just understand that Boolean attributes in HTML do not have an explicit value. Their value of true is implied by their presence. Multiple attributes of either type can be added to an element, separated by spaces, as you can see in this example. One more category of element I want to talk about is called a void element. Here's an example of a void element, the meta element. A void element doesn't have a start tag and an end tag. It has a single tag, which is sometimes called a self-closing tag. There's only a handful of elements in this category, including meta, image, BR, and others. They can have attributes, as you see in this example with the meta element. You will see void elements written with a slash at the end and without sometimes. This closing slash is optional in HTML, and it does the same thing whether or not you use the slash at the end. I personally prefer to use the slash at the end of void elements to make it extra clear when you're scanning a page that it's a self-closing tag that does not require an end tag. So you see me using it, but just to be clear, it's not a requirement, and other developers prefer not to use it at all. Now that you've been introduced to the different parts of an HTML element, in the next video, I'll walk you through putting together a very basic HTML document using what we've learned so far.